Boom. There we go.
Yeah, I got you.
This is very simple to do here. This is very easy. Bro, I got a laptop. You just gotta it's getting fixed. I gotta get that.
Yeah, that would be the best thing, just because it's easier to do. Because I was gonna tell you too before we went live, you actually want to see if you could download the audio afterwards. Because I don't know if you can do it on the StreamYard that you own. I'm not sure. You should be able to though. Download the video and the audio afterwards.
Yeah, it says download recording.
So you can download it afterwards?
Yeah, because I did a couple test runs on my laptop and they still work.
Okay, for sure.
But I'm like, I'm binging Insecure, and like all together, like you see, like, it's easy to see all the setup features.
Right.
Because I forgot Condola's in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like her and Lawrence have a brief little moment.
Yeah. Also, if you can turn down the background noise a little bit, and then your mic, because it's only so much I could do in post too, big fella. Yeah, in post is supposed to be, to tweak stuff a little bit. You can't amplify it in post that much, so.
That better?
Yeah, a little bit. I think I could try to work with it.
Yeah. You good, bro?
Good. So we here. This your first episode too. How you feel?
Accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We, just to start, because the first step is to start. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because you've been teaching it for a while now, so which is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I was like this fucking this job I got. I ain't got nothing but time to think. Well, I was like, well, shit, let me just see. We just start one or two of a couple. Get the groove on.
Right, yeah.
Cause it's like if I wait too long, it just be wasting time.
Right. I mean, but people gotta know, man. Slow motion better than no motion. You feel me? So you're doing it. That's the main goal, and then everything else to come with it. You just gotta do it. You just gotta try it. That's what I tell folks. So
yeah. This ain't like this. I wouldn't go do it. Let's not do an hour. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do like 45, probably 30, 35. It's just like
right.
So like once we get the groove of things, that's when I'll be doing an hour and a half.
Right. Yeah, no,
Mhm.
that's perfectly fine. Everybody introduction should be about around that time. You know, Maul and Rory, theirs was an hour flat, so it was just a little introduction. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It did 250K listens altogether. I don't even know if that's just off YouTube. I think that's compiled up every streaming platform, which is amazing. So, and
yeah.
I listened to it.
And also,
I actually enjoyed it. I want to see what
yeah.
they got going on.
When those niggas they move around.
Mm-hmm.
So they move around. So like those episodes where Joe's like trying to roast them niggas because they move around. He don't. Like so like the stories they talking about it. Like you listen to them niggas be out. That nigga don't be out. And also like the numbers they did, even though it's episode one, like a lot of those views are like still shock value of the situation. But you know what I'm saying? You gotta be pretty good. You know, they gotta feel pretty good knowing that like they can build on something and shit. And plus, nigga, plus Katie just snatched them niggas up like he did since Santana. I was like, nah, y'all can come work over here. Work at the boardroom, shit like that. It's
Right.
hilarious.
I mean, don't they call that nigga the sniper? What's his other nickname? Easy Mo Sniper.
Iceberg Slim. That's Iceberg Slim. Nah, the story about him going on a date with a porn star and then bringing the backup chick is hilarious.
Yeah, he do some weirdo shit online, but he learned something from somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's some like that is some like I'm gonna make sure like no matter what goes down, I'm gonna get my issue off type shit. But
Mm-hmm.
when you a nigga like him, you can do shit like that.
Exactly.
Regularly can't bring a backup backup chick so it don't look
Mm-hmm.
right. Yeah. And then she a born something, so it's kind of like the backlash on it's kind of minimal.
Yeah, it
Nah,
just you know what I mean. I've always been the person not to put myself over backup plan for the backup plan, but you know what I mean. When it relates to the opposite sex, I ain't that cold with it. Like I said, it go back to what you said about you got to have a certain stature to be able to pull that off. That's one of the greatest
yeah,
players of all time. 15, so he can do
yeah.
that. Me, I can't do that.
Yeah, you also got to be a certain type of basketball player. You can't just be a regular. You can't just be the ninth man just doing that shit. And you have to be a certain type
Maybe,
of basketball. I mean, you right. You right. Shit.
like
Shit.
you're an NBA player, so they see your face, so you can
Right.
you can do that because of the stature and the money. Like hell, the ninth player sometime make millions of dollars too. Chandler Parsons is a ski mask legend. He wasn't the
Right.
ninth player on the Grizzlies, but he didn't do shit but blame OG Fizdale. Shouts out East Side OG Fizdale, but blame him for everything.
I like. I be getting depending on who it is. Like a lot of like I like how it's so like ESPN or like sports media or just media in general are so like pro like California people being fully California, which is like Fizdale just being fully just being fully like that is accepted. But like some southern niggas just can't just be fully southern.
Mm-hmm.
Like nah, you like if you a sports media person, like if you're an athlete or a rapper, as if like Anthony Edwards is extremely Atlanta. Is extremely Atlanta. He's the longer he's in the league, the more he's probably gonna get people in the sports media that's from Atlanta with that kind of accent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, Samoa Joe's on NXT. Oh okay, I'm watching that tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I'm in the game right now. So that's what I
Yeah.
always tell people. Basketball gonna come first. I don't really be tapped. I be tapped into wrestling, but I really be tapped in during like the off season of the NBA.
Well, with NXT, like I watch the YouTube clips because I know the important stuff is in the YouTube clips. But Joe being on that makes it weak intelligent. Joe replacing Regal, if that's his position, which I believe it is, because I think Regal's gonna take his money and probably go back to England and retire, something like that. I think he wants to retire because about a week ago, people saying Regal should go to NXT UK. I was like, no, wait, you don't need to be going all that. Nah.
No, and then spoiler anybody that's listening. Joe came back, and apparently, I guess now he's just like the co-manager, but basically he's just Regal shooter. That's all it is.
Hey man. I told you he would be back. Listen. I want. This is why I'm doing the podcast because I need to explain to wrestling. Well, this is why I'm a media person because I think wrestling fans need to understand the aspect of being comfortable financially. You know what I'm saying? And financially, like once, like prime example, Jay White come over to the E. He's in the E for 5 years. He doesn't sniff a major world championship outside of NXT UK or NXT, right? He's never like the WWE champion or the Universal champion. He depending on what his deal is, or depending on how comfortable he is, he might re-sign with the WWE and ignore people saying, "Well, he didn't win the world title, so he was misused and shit like that." So it's like a lot of these wrestlers, and a lot of these wrestlers, you gotta check their age when they come in. AJ came in at 39. Joe came in at 36. Those two niggas are not, and I repeat, are not going to a lesser program for lesser money. Because and even if they did go to a lesser program, you got to back up the branch because they just this like the new money, the perks of being a WWE superstar sometimes, a lot of times, outweigh the art form of wrestling, depending on the person. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the person. You know what I'm saying? So and then there's the flip side where like a motherfucker like Matt Cardona been with the company for like 15 years and he's never really gotten his I'm a wrestler shit off. So he's trying as much as he can, right? Like he's trying as much as he can to like make himself something outside of the WWE product. And it would be the same thing for like if Big E wanted to wrestle outside of WWE, which I don't think he will. But I think like once he's done, he's gonna go backstage. He's gonna be a legacy actor. He's not gonna have to leave the company, leave the orbit of the company. But yeah, so it's like if he was going somewhere, it was gonna be Japan, but it wasn't gonna be long term. He was gonna do spot dates for a lot of money. And he could have went back to Impact, but for what? For what? With who? Who over there? Over there? Because if you go to Impact, Kenny Omega got to come off that belt. He got before I signed the contract, Kenny Omega got to come off that belt the night I debut.
Yeah, that definitely won't happen. We know how that goes with Buddy.
Yeah. He got 2 weeks. If he can't come off the night I debut, he got 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Give it.
Yeah. How long you been watching wrestling? Because you what, 26, 27?
27.
Okay. How long have you been watching wrestling for? I mean, because you from Texas, so I think for the most part, I feel like y'all come out the womb and y'all got to wrestle or play football anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, my so like everything I kind of got into was because of my brother. So I remember So, because I was always with him. So, because I was always with him, I was always with him. Everything he did, I watched. But I remember he would go to my cousin's house and they would watch. They would watch. They would have in one room at their house. They would have on Nitro. In the other room, they would have on Raw. So they would watch. They would watch both. One of them would watch. Like sometimes they would watch the other one, and the other one would watch the other. So I remember that. And then my most my most vivid memory of wrestling is I remember fully watching the Raw where my most vivid memory of wrestling is my brother found the back in the day when they had the pay-per-views,
Yeah.
but they had like the bootleg channel that you could turn to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold up.
So as Donnie steps away, he asked me if I know about pay-per-views. I could recall in 2000. And shouts out to everybody that's going to be listening to this. Hanging with the Crew, episode 1. This is Donnie's showcase. We worked before on many different platforms I've done, from Banks versus Davis to Show Your Work. So this is introduction. Hanging with the homies, or I'm sorry, Hanging with the Crew, episode 1 for Donnie Lewis's podcast. So, as you were saying about the pay-per-views,
so my very first used the niggas couldn't order pay-per-views, so they used to have a channel on the old TVs where there would be no picture, so it'll be staticky and colored, but you could hear the broadcast. So I remember one of those times I remember was when I think Rock was facing Triple H. The match where Shane came in with the chair.
That was several times. Are you talking about 2000 at Judgment Day, that Iron Man match?
Yeah.
When Undertaker came back as MAGA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something like that.
The MAGA badass.
Something like that. I remember that. But also, I think before that, I remember watching the Montreal Screwjob at like 3. I remember, I remember Bret Hart spitting on Vince McMahon. I remember that for some reason. I was like 3 and a half years old. I remember that. 4 probably. 4, but I remember that in spurts. But my first full memory of wrestling is Mankind winning the title, because that is the moment. Like once I saw that, that's when I was all in. I was 5, but I was all in. From that moment, I was like, "Oh no, I'm watching this every."
Yeah. Because wrestling, man, it's a fanatical thing. You know, it's hit or miss with people, and obviously, as we've seen in the past 24 hours, people can really take it beyond what it is. It's fantasy. This is why people will never consider it an actual sport, just based on how their fan base is, even though it is an actual sport.
You know, a lot of. What are you about to ask?
No. I was just about to. You can elaborate more on that. I was about to ask another question concerning wrestling.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, so initially, you do you ever think like what makes people? I mean, obviously, because we watch movies, we watch TV shows, anything of that nature, play video games. But in episode 2 for Donnie's podcast will be about, is it still about Pokemon, as my grandmother used to say? I know it's Pokemon. She used to say Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing that shit tomorrow with the home. It's a episode 2 actually is. It's not actually episode. Well, let me explain. This shit. Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we get back into wrestling. So, Hanging with the Crew is the main podcast. It's the main show, and this would be about. And basically, the main gist of this thing is like it's me just shooting this shit, whether it's by myself once I get the setup right, whether it's or if it's not by myself, it's with some of my homies, like including you, motherfuckers from the Discord, like my older brother, his homies, like motherfuckers I went to high school with, motherfuckers I went to college with. And we'll just be shooting the shit about kind of like life, cause a lot of niggas I went to college with are like doing big things. Like one of the niggas that was like my mentor in college, like this nigga's on a new TV series with David Diggs that's coming out next month. So like and like all him and like a bunch of other people who are doing like things, whether it be in the acting world, whether it be in the producer world, these niggas is working. We all remember each other when we was just when all this shit was just ideas. And I remember when I thought about starting a pod, I went around and asked those same niggas. I said, "Hey, if I start up this podcast, y'all can I interview y'all?" And all of them niggas said, "Yeah, yeah." I was like, "Yeah, of course. Just let me know I can schedule it." And I was like, "Okay, well, shit, well, shit. If I got 15, 20 motherfuckers saying shit, they'll automatically be a guest on my show. Which I might as well start this motherfucker." And my brother, you know, his connections, his experience, whether it be music, whether it be, you know, his trials and tribulations, his ups and downs, his experiences, his connections will help me out and shit like that. So that's what hanging with the crew. But then within the podcast, it'll be a lot of sub series, meaning there'll be a lot of things. There'll be a lot of shows within my podcast where I just strictly talk about one thing, whether it be one series of podcasts where I just talk about wrestling, where I just talk about movies. Like one of my homies from college, we're gonna do a sub series called Hood Classics, kind of like how
Amp does
Bill
his.
Simmons does his movie podcast,
Okay, yeah.
but a better nigga like a nigga version, but a better version of the nigga, a more accurate version. Yeah, and then movies, wrestling, but wrestling, the idea for wrestling, I'ma only do 4 episodes a year. So I'ma only do like a wrestling episode around the Rumble, around Mania, around SummerSlam, and around Survivor Series. So, because this is not a wrestling fight. You get what I'm saying? Like this ain't a wrestling fight. This is a show where like I bring motherfuckers on and we just shoot the shit about whatever, mainly about life, experiences and shit like that. But no, tomorrow we gonna record this episode. About Pokemon with a couple of my homies, and then I'll try to get that out probably next Monday. Probably next Monday. I'll talk to you about that. Could you say it had to be what 2 days?
I would highly recommend anything that you do. You want to put it out no later than 2 days after it was recorded.
Right.
I mean, especially if it's something timed. This more so isn't timed, but you still want to say, "Hey, I got something out." You know what I mean? And it's like, because we did talk about wrestling, and as it relates to something that just happened, yeah, you want to put this out no later than 2 days after it's recorded. But things like that, like, if you talk about Pokemon or you talking about anything around that, like a movie that's coming out, TV show, as long as it's not, after releases, that's fine. I just don't understand the idea of just holding content, especially podcasts, because it's literally thousands. Well, probably not. It's less people now than it was last year because everybody's outside. So the $200 date niggas are done doing a podcast. So you could put out yours whenever, but I always recommend. I tell people, man, no later than 2 days. Like it shouldn't take that long. It's a general conversation being recorded for the masses.
Yeah. Well, the thing about with me, all I have to do is just schedule the episodes and shit like that. Like hanging with the crew will be every week on a certain day. But like the other versions of the show, I'll try to make it like depending on how much I can do it, depending on who wants to come on, the guest, or when I want to do it. Sometimes I'll do one. Sometimes I'll do each of them like once a month. You get what I'm saying? But the main part will be like every week, starting shit like
Absolutely. Yeah, you got everything planned out. So
that. Yeah, I gotta
initially,
format everything.
yeah, that's all you need to do. That's all the plan is about. So going back to, because you when you originally told me about the Pokemon, and I was like, all right, I used to play Pokemon, but I fell off like a couple years ago. So initially, did you get into it like everybody else around our age range, where it was just like, oh no, this is different, and then you
Yeah, cause of
consistently
my
kept going, or did you ever fall
yeah
off?
yeah, cause of my brother. Like my brother, he introduced me to like all of it. Like he put me there. So he put it in my face. And so from there, he never told me what I should play though. So from there, once he put all that shit in my face, I got to just my brain just picked and choose that shit. So like with Pokemon and with Pokemon, like once I got on it, I just never stopped. I've been on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's one of like it's one of like four things like that I've still been fucking with for like 20 plus years. So and like for example, my brother, he's a Mortal Kombat Street Fighter nigga. He's been that way since I saw him play. You know what I'm saying? So like wrestling and like now he sporadically watches wrestling every now and then. If I he kind of knows what's going on. He know the superstars and shit like that. He don't watch it like, no more, no more. But like you know what I'm saying? Like he mainly be watching like Twitch streamers and shit like that, which I do sometimes too. That shit be fun. But yeah, I think it's just like I think it's just like the shit. Because growing up, and you probably understand this too, though. Like growing up, you like once like when you young, like niggas make it seem like there's an age limit for the shit you love when you're young. Like once you turn a certain age, you can't
Mm-hmm.
like certain shit no more. You got it. That shit got to be dead. You know what I'm saying? Or like, or like niggas, or like once you get some pussy, all of that shit you like become kid shit to other niggas. And so, and so you'll be doing some shit, and the nigga will be like, "Wait, you still watch that? You still watch wrestling?" I'll be like, "Yeah." Like, yeah, nigga, you about to graduate high school. I'm like, what the fuck? What the
Right.
fuck that got to do with anything, nigga?
Like
Yeah,
it's a hobby. Like I don't know what you want. Like it's a hobby. Like
yeah, bro.
some people hobby is just listening to dumbass music all day and chasing hoes.
Hmm.
I'm like, hey, it's a time and a place for everything. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everybody should have seasons when they doing something. Well, chasing women, that's something totally different. Like, yeah, I don't respect that. I think Pimp C will look down on me chasing the women. You know what I mean? Always talk to women, be respectful, be consensual with everything you do, but chasing, no, we don't do that around here. But yeah, it's just a hobby. Like I don't understand what
Mm-hmm.
people it's fucking people that watch reality shows. Pretty sure
Bro,
me playing
that
Pokemon is
is,
probably more entertaining than that.
bro, fam. And plus, where I come from a city where the population is 95,000. Our source for entertainment for the whole city is one movie theater and high school football. That is the lot where I come from, Port Arthur. That is the livest. That's the best thing. Is high school football the and once a year the fair and Mardi Gras. So Mardi Gras comes in February. The fair I think comes in October. So like literally three things, four things are the best forms of entertainment. And it's like, but then on the flip side, Port Arthur has the biggest refinery capital in the world. So it's a big ass refinery at the edge of the city. And a lot of times, like when you young, like when young niggas, like
Mhm.
they'll like when I was in high school. What's up?
No, I'm listening.
Okay,
Yeah.
yo, when I was in high school, bro, like literally out at 18, this was in 2011, 18 years old. You could start off at the refinery at 18, no college, no nothing, making 17 an hour, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 5 days a week. As soon as you finish high school, as soon as you finish high school. Now, for a young nigga, that's money. So, cause you working 12-hour shifts every 2 weeks, you bringing in at least $2,000. And in 2011, 2 racks every 2 weeks, it hypnotizes niggas to where so they don't go to college. They just go straight to the plant. To the plant, they start getting that money, and they grow up fast. They get that money, they get an apartment, they get a car, you get a car, and they have their shit together. They paying bills, but they get stuck there. You get stuck, and you get stuck there, and you'll get used to that city. And when I was younger, like everything was so small. Like what this like no, when I was younger, everything felt so big, so far. Like Houston is 2 hours away from me. When we would go to Houston, that was whenever me and my mom would go to Houston, that was a field trip. Like it felt like a field trip, because of the environment. And so like my mom, like when I was graduating high school, I asked her, I was like, "You think I can work at the plant?" She was like, "Yeah, you can work at the plant, but you're not gonna work at the plant." And I was like, "Why?" She was like, "Because you're not fit to stay here. Like you need to go to college. Like you need to like just to get away from here." And shit, crazy enough, the college I went to was smaller than the city I grew up in. But the college was filled with niggas from Houston, Dallas, Louisiana, Chicago, New York, the Bay, Los Angeles, Lancaster, Compton, like Compton, fucking Detroit, fucking Kansas. So like it was a melting pot of different cultures. And even the fact that the city I was in was smaller, it felt so much because of the people. It felt so much different where I was from, and so I understood what she meant was like you need to get the fuck out of here because if you get used to this shit, you gonna stay in this shit. And I don't want you to be one of them niggas that just stay in this shit because smart like that shit a crutch.
Absolutely. It's one of those things where you have to get outside of your comfort zone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like her doing that is probably one of the best things, if not the best thing that has happened to you thus far. I haven't known you long enough to know exactly, your accomplishments yet. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like when you, as a person that just decided, all right, I'm gonna get up out of here, get out of my comfort zone, even though I wasn't comfortable in LA, but let me get out from my regular surroundings and do something better with my life. It takes a lot of boldness to do that. And definitely it's a big payoff. Like it's trash to be away from home and everything you used to, but it's a bigger payoff to that. You get exposed to new cultures and new things, and then you get new thoughts. So I wish more people from the areas we from would do that so they can get a better understanding of overall of life.
Cause bro, one of my homies on college with is from Compton, and he like until I went to California last year, I didn't realize what he meant when he said, "Fam, all of those cities that be beefing in California are right next to each other, and niggas never leave." And so I went to Los Angeles. We go to LA for work, and I'm like, wait, Long Beach is like this far. If you it's not that far. Like Long Beach is like right here. Like Compton is like right here. Wait, niggas never leave this.
Mm-mm.
Like
It's
niggas be here. This nigga, it's like 10 minutes. Like Los Angeles, like 10 minutes away.
Yeah, a lot of
It's
people
like
don't
nigga.
understand that. They think if you just like from where I'm from South Central. So I grew up. I'm not gonna put all my shit I say it on Twitter, but anyway. So I grew up like on Florence and Fourth. Florence and West, all those areas right there, basically all Florence and Normandy area. So I moved around a lot as a kid, but I've always stayed in Florence area, and that's where a lot of my people from and grew up over there and shit like that, especially off Budlong. So with people have this preconceived notion that if you in LA, even if you're in poverty, it's like, oh, all right, you go to the beach every day. Like, nah, some people never been to the beach. My homeboy knew a girl, she never been to the beach, and she's like you just said, you just take the 10. You get to go down Fig and take the 10. You can go down Hoover and get on the 10, or take the 110 to the 10, but still you can get to the beach, whatever beach you want to. Some people just never do that. They stay in that. My cousins and them, they in the same environment, same house they've been for years. I've tried to tell them, let's go these places I've been to in the country, and let's go do this. Let's try something different. They don't. You know, some people just want to be comfortable there, and that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, like the area where I'm from is the Golden Triangle. And of course, Steven Jackson from Port Arthur. Free Safety Earl Thomas is from Orange. And Kendrick Perkins is from Beaumont. All those three cities are 20 minutes apart from each other. It's apart from each other. But they're so vastly different. Like, they look different, they feel different. Like, growing up, like you go to Beaumont, you in a whole different place. It's 20 minutes away. It's a whole different place. But that's where, like, the big ass, they got the big ass mall, they got the better movie theaters, they got the better restaurants and shit like that. Then Orange, Texas is where the white people is at. And if niggas is over there, they just over there. My mama lived there now. And like it's vastly different from the city. Like, it's way more peaceful and shit like that. And it's crazy how how small minded certain areas can make you. And so yes. So getting out of that, living in Austin is crazy. I've always had family and shit like that. Houston, I have family in Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, but yeah, bro, like small town cities can trap you, put you in a crutch to the point where this is all you know. This is all you know. This is all you know. One of my favorite things in college, because I went to college in Texas, is watching people from other coasts come here and step outside for the first time. You know, because all the niggas from the West Coast, the temperature don't get no higher than 83. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's been hot a lot lately. It's been like 100 degrees when I was down there and shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Global warming is real.
Yeah, global warming. But then, bro, like going from them niggas are so used to 84 at the highest. Them niggas it's August in Texas. Them niggas pull up to this small ass town with this college in it, and it's 97 degrees. And these niggas, and the funny, they are mad. I always laugh because they mad. They're like, why is it so hot? I was like, that's just how it is. Just how it is. Niggas from the East Coast couldn't understand why it's 85 degrees in November, or 88 degrees in November. And I always just tell them, like, fam, that's normal. What are you talking about? Like, it'd be like last Christmas, it was 79. We was outside hooping. We was outside hooping on Christmas. That's how it is. So, like, just to see how people react to the culture I'm used to, and then like getting to travel and understand the culture that because I was in the Bay for a month, and like all the shit my homies told me about the Bay, I kind of like went to restaurants and the experience and shit like that. I saw it and I was like, oh, I get it. I get why those niggas are the way they are.
Yeah, bro. It's the reason why we wear basketball shorts half the time. Like I still, my current location, I still wear basketball shorts all the time. It's like, bro, I don't need to wear jeans. And then because me, you know what I mean, I sweat easy. Even before I gained all this weight I gained, I used to sweat easy. Now I really sweat easy. So I don't really do the whole, you know what I mean, sneakers and basketball shorts. That's been the whole thing.
Mm.
But nah. Yeah, so where else have you been in the country besides just LA or
I went
California?
to. I done been to. Still haven't been to Atlanta. I done been to. I done been to. I done been to Portland. I done been to Seattle. I've been North and South Dakota. Uh, South Dakota is where Mount Rushmore is. In case you didn't know that, 'cause I didn't
Nigga,
know.
I've been out there.
Oh, I didn't know.
I seen the
I
goddamn
didn't know,
mountain lion on there. Swear to God, bro.
bro.
I actually forgot. I was little though. I've been out there before because
Yeah,
my
but
uncle,
bro,
his
like on
wife is
some real
like
shit.
Indian.
When I was there during the summer, there, that's where the natives live. Of course, the natives live in the Dakotas. That's a culture shock. Like, cause we had to, like, my job required us to drive in a lot of neighborhoods, and we went deep into the Dakotas. And when you see the natives, they don't look like what you see on like TV, like the TV native. They don't look like that.
No, they look Mexican.
Well, and yes, yes. I don't know if natives is the correct term. Is it indigenous? I'm gonna say indigenous people. But like, yeah, like
Man,
they
ain't nobody.
be
They can't cancel you, bro. Ain't but 5 of them.
like, I don't know the correct term, but I just call them the natives. You know what I'm saying? I don't call them the I word. We don't. I'm not gonna do that. That's stupid. But nah, like we in South Dakota. I'm working. I'm like they close. All they restaurants close at like 4. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the main city. And I'm just like, what? I'm just like, this don't make sense. But now they had this little celebration where there was a car show. There was there was a downtown area where there was car show and shit like that. We had a whole bunch of fun down there. I'm in South Dakota, North Dakota. I drove through Wyoming. I was in Utah for a week. Horrible food. Horrible food. Horrible food.
You said where? Horrible food again? You said Utah?
Utah.
Yeah,
Utah.
because it's fucking
Utah.
Utah. That's why. I just want to make sure. I heard
Free
what you
Donovan
said, but I
Mitchell.
want to say fuck Utah.
Free Donovan Mitchell. Like free. Then I went to Vegas. And I've been to Vegas. I went to Zone, and I've been in some city in Arizona. I was there for like a week. But then I went to the
I
I
would have
done been
left.
to
You said a week is too long. I know this your
yeah.
interview, but I'm gonna cut you off about these certain states and cities. All right, Arizona, leave. Go to Phoenix for an hour and fucking leave. Don't even stay
Arizona's
that
hot.
long. It's meth. It's meth country in Arizona.
Arizona hotter than Texas, and that is ridiculous. I
It,
never thought
it
it'd be
it's
that hot.
it hot. It's hot. It
Bro,
stinks. It's fucking
bro, it's
trash out there.
bro, I woke up, it was 109. I said, I'm not working today. Because we can't, because if it's over 104, like we don't work. Because like we wouldn't work because of the vehicles we drove.
How much were
And the
you
shit
getting
they had.
paid?
I was getting 16.
I would have did it.
16. We work every day, and we work about 10 a day. So 10 hours a day. Probably 70 hours a week.
Was
So
it
yeah,
was it
it was
weekly
good
pay?
money. The first time I did it was weekly. The second time it was bi-weekly. But it was still cool.
Yeah, I would have did it. Fuck it. If I would have had heat stroke, just get the money to my mom's
Nah,
now.
well, I mean, yeah, but like, bro, we was there, and then of course, I was in Detroit for 30 days of my life. I was just in Detroit. I remember when I told you, he was like, "What are you doing? Why are you there?" I was like, "Work." He was like, "Still, why are you in Detroit?" That shit was so crazy. It was so crazy, bro. Like when my Uber driver picked me up in a brand new '06 Mac Chrysler 300. I was just like all black on the inside, all black on the outside. I'm just like, all right, big fella. Okay. All right, pimp. I was just like, all right, I'm just trying to go to Walmart. Been to Detroit. I was in South Carolina for like a couple of weeks, and then I done been to North Carolina. I love North Carolina. I love Charlotte. I love Raleigh. That is a. It's one of those. We didn't talk about this before. It is a like spend the rest of my life in this city. That's the city. Spend the rest of my life in this state type of state. Like live here, raise my family type of state. It's very profitable. It's very good. But I think that's about. Oh, I done been to Florida. Florida, but not like been to Florida. I've been there for like a few days.
That's good enough.
Oh
You-
my bad. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
you-
I forgot it because I hate it so much. I was in West Virginia for 7.5 weeks.
Wait, where did you say your audio was going in on West where?
West Virginia
Why the fuck did you go there? Okay, I'll do 109 temperature in Arizona. I'm not going to West Virginia.
for work, nigga.
I quit that day. West Virginia, no. I don't give a damn if
I
it's a
was
nice
there for
75 degrees.
2 months, and
Can't do
I
it.
I hate. Oh my god, I hate it so much. I hate it
How many
so much.
times did you hear the end of the word?
Not no. I tell you. I tell the story since episode 1. My third day working, we like 45 minutes away from my hotel. Like, and I'm on Wednesday. So I go in the store. It's a gas station. It's like a big ass gas station. I go in the store and get me some food. This white lady looks me up and down. I walk in the store. This white lady's walking out. She stops. She looks me up and down. And she said, "Well, damn, I didn't know they made you." And I just had like, I had to pause because she was like, "Well, damn, I didn't know they made you." And I looked, and bro, all I could say was, "What? I mean, they definitely do." And she just laughed and she left. And I was like, "Nah, I need to." That was day 3. Day 3. Day 3.
What does she mean by that?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just like, yeah. And then I didn't know West Virginia had so many hills, so we had to drive up these hills. And newsflash: when you drive up these hills, you when you drive up these hills, you notice that people live up here. Like people live up here. I'm talking all the way to the top. People live in these motherfucking hills and these motherfucking mountains. So the first day I did it, I asked myself, I said, who the fuck would live up here? And as soon as I pulled up to a street, Confederate flag, I was like, oh, these niggas live. Oh, this is where they live at. Let's get the fuck out. Let's do what we need to do up here. Let's leave.
Yeah, nigga, it's West Virginia. I
Bro,
think
I,
I'll have
I
more
was
fun in Gary, Indiana than I would in West Virginia.
every day I was there, I was like, when are we leaving? And we went from there to like Dayton, Ohio. Which is where the Nike factory was like 30 minutes away from my hotel. I was cool with that. I was there for that shit. But nah, West Virginia is horrible. Horrible. It shouldn't exist as a state.
No, I agree. The only good thing to come from Virginia is surrounded by idiots, Timberland, Neptunes, all those, the artists,
Mm.
all 5 of them. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
it's like
other
a
than
good
that,
7.
yeah. Otherwise, than that shuts off family. Otherwise than that, nah. There's no reason for Virginia to exist. Virginia Beach, that tells you everything about what the fuck is it? What is that? Summer break. I'm tripping right now. That tells you everything you need to know about summer break. If what all the honkies go out there, they go to Virginia Beach. All the black people go to Miami, and we saw how that turned out when they was out in the streets and how the whites was. But it's Florida. I don't need to get into that. But yeah, prayers down for Virginia. I don't do we know anybody from Virginia or in our circle?
The only person I know is OG Johnny 5. He's from Virginia.
Prayers down to Virginia.
Well, he live in LA,
I know.
so
Prayers down to
that nigga
Virginia,
left. That nigga left.
as everybody else should. Pharrell
Yeah,
and them stay
yeah,
in Miami, I think.
yeah, bro. But yeah, like this shit is. I kind of feel like my experiences led me to doing this. Man, I kind of feel like, cause me, I'm the type of nigga like I'm not just gonna do some shit just to do some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna be a content creator because everybody is creating content. No, 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 no. I gotta know if I'm good at it. That's why like I that's why like I had so much fun just appearing on y'all podcast and hopping on so many other podcasts. Because I need to see how good I am at this shit. And then once I see if I'm good enough to do it, once I started, I gotta figure out what to get better at shit like that. This is so it was kind of like when I started making music or rapping. I tried to figure out what I was good at. What I was good at rapping about. And once I figured that out, I started to try to figure out how to formulate a song because I started off right how I used to write. I used to get a long ass 5 minute beat, and I used to just write to it, and then at first I would just record what I wrote to. Then I stopped doing that and just I started formulating like songs and hooks and how to stop and shit. Just off my brain. Minimal suggestions and all the suggestions are good. And so I figured this was my brother's suggestion. Like, yeah, maybe you should get in the podcast. Because before that, I had never thought about it. I've been listening. I've been listening to podcasts since like 2014, and I never thought that I could do it. Like, where I was at, like where I was at, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know. But then, like, that was 7 years ago. Like, podcasting wasn't this easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was this. It's way easier now than it was.
Right.
Yeah.
And the
I
game
figured
isn't
it like
saturated as well, man.
right,
The game is
right.
not saturated as, like I said, it once was last year. You know what I mean? Just because everybody's outside now. Like, how many times did we see everybody start a podcast and then where are they now? You know what I mean? For the most part, everybody just want to be next Joe Budden. Then we see the collapse of Joe Budden, or so we think, this year. And then everybody's just like all the little brunch dudes, all the goofies, all the weirdos that's treating this dude like that. That's they pops. They kind of fell back, or they would do one-off episodes just to explain themselves about, like, I'll never, you know what I mean? I don't need to bring it up on your platform, but I just saw a lot of goofy shit this year. You know what I mean? He started the most goofy shit I seen this year. It'd be always some goofy shit damn near every day when you go on Twitter, but to see the disgusting shit that came from that, I said, bro, this dude is a clown. The people that are hardcore fans of this dude is a clown. Like, come on, bro. Y'all 40 years old. You
Yeah,
36 in a
and
karate
then
class. You tie boho.
yeah, and then like a lot of podcasts are centered around what happened in the week. And like that was the first thing. That, like when I first started rapping, the number one thing, the first thing I thought of was like I'm not doubling my verses. I'm never gonna double over because that shit's stupid, right? The first thing I thought about when I thought about doing this was I'm never gonna center the show, this show, or any other shows within this show around what happens during the week. You know what I'm saying? Now every now and then, if a big movie comes out, if I don't talk about the movie on my show, I'll try my best to be a guest on somebody else's show to talk about it. But yeah, somebody else's show to talk about it. But I'm never gonna center around the show topics. Center show topics around what happens during the week. And a lot of podcasts. A lot, a lot of them, and like you know what I'm saying. And they don't be like specific specific pocket like wrestling podcasts. I get it because wrestling happens. Wrestling content happens every day, so you got to talk about the everyday wrestling content, and then within your wrestling show, you can create, discussions about 90s, 80s, certain superstars versus certain superstars within all that. But nigga, making sitting you and your homies sitting around for an hour and 20 minutes talking about what happened on Twitter, no, nah, that's not. No, that's not a podcast. That's unnecessary. There's no creativity in that. All you niggas that just lets me know you niggas have money for mics. So a lot of niggas out here with money for mics. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of niggas out here think their opinion is valid, which it really ain't. Yeah, so like
That's
overall, what you
my
about to
fault. Go
say?
ahead. All I was about to say is you absolutely right, and you don't need to give them any more. You know what I mean? You don't need to give them, so to speak, as the kids call. I'm not going to say that word, but you don't need to really give them anything because we already know what the game is. It's just like motherfuckers got mics, motherfuckers got camera equipment, and everybody want to be a motivational speaker and an IG model just to show off for people to say, "Yeah, you see me, I'm doing something." Who the fuck cares, bro?
Yeah.
Everybody doing something every day.
Yeah, because it's like a lot. Like the best thing about Spotify is I will scroll through. Like I'll scroll through some podcasts and I'll read the description. I will read the description, and from what I see in the description, lets me know if I want to listen to this shit. And half the time, I'm not listening to this shit because like niggas and I already talked about this 2 days ago. So why would I listen to you babble about it for an hour? You know what I'm saying? It's very few. There's like you have this too, man. There's podcasts that I look forward to listening to. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that they're unique. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to bring. I want this shit to be its own entity. I want it to be as unique as possible. Uniquely, the show, the fans of the show, the people that's affiliated with the show. I want it to be its own thing. I don't want it to be, jumbled up in like other podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Even though, as we, even though I'm starting, but as I keep going and as I keep growing, of course they're gonna jumble up this shit with other, the other podcasts you may like and shit like that. But there's the overall goal is just to shoot the shit about whatever with some dope people and just have a good time and get this money. You know what I'm saying?
That part. I don't know if people understand with me, everything for the most part, the end goal is the bread. I ain't doing all this shit, even though I enjoy working with everybody and I appreciate everybody for shouting me out when it comes to producing, etc. Hey man, everything I do leads to some money. I'm a capitalist. I need some motherfucking money like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Cause trust me, I'm not gonna be. I'm never gonna be the nigga that says money is everything. Nah, nigga. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things.
That's where most of my happiness has come from. If I can get an SRT Hellcat right now, I'll be a happy motherfucker.
Bro, because like, yeah, because nigga, they give out bills to everybody. they give out bills. Everybody gets a bill. So you need the bread to pay that shit. But we closing in on an hour, and just want to let the listeners see this shit. Oh, this is the beginning, and we got a long way to go. But we didn't already accomplish starting getting the first episode. So as we as we get bigger, as I get good at this shit, get better at this shit, get great at this shit. There'll be an intro. There'll be a soundboard. There'll be rules. There'll be formats. There'll be fun things. There'll be there'll be consistent questions, consistent conversation, shit like that. But yeah, it's me. It's Donnie Lewis. This is episode 1 of Hang with the Crew. Appreciate you, Banks, for helping me do this shit.
That's all I love, bro. Whatever you need, like I tell people, just let me know. Communication is key.
Yeah. Follow me. Follow me at Donnie Lewis on Instagram. Donnie Lewis 1 on Twitter. Thank you, Twitter, for deleting my old page that I had for 9 years. Thank you for giving me a chance to build for real, to see who really real in the field with a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for letting me start from scratch. But yeah, this is episode 1 of Hanging with the Crew. And that's it.
That part.
Mm-hmm. Boom. All right. Let me end this shit to you.
Nigga, it's still live.